Hi, everybody. It's Patrick. How are you? Um, Happy Thursday, and happy January. Like, you know, post-holiday winter. So, how are you doing? Um, so, we have a few questions. So, we're going to do those. But if you have a question, you should jump in and ask. Kind of starting to get back to normal. Before I forget, I am, if you are around Detroit, hey, Kristen. If you are around Detroit next weekend, I'm at the Novi Home and Garden Show. And the following weekend, I am in Charlotte at the Cabarrus Community Center. I'm home show there. And then the following weekend, I'm doing Minneapolis Home Show. So I've got those three coming up in the next couple weeks. So if you're around, I just wanted to tell you that. Kristen is in Texas, and it's probably warm there. It's not warm here. It was 12 when I came to work today. Happy New Year to you, Krista. Can somebody hand me my glasses? I don't have my glasses with me, and I want to make sure that it's correct. Thank you. It's Christina. So hello. All right. Jump into questions, but if you have one, ask. Daughter got pink Uggs for Christmas, which is so fun. She wore them as slushy. They have salt and dirt on them. Okay. The dirt's easy. On Uggs, it's super easy. Especially on Uggs, you can scrub it with soap and water, but the salt, vinegar and water will take off salt on your shoes. So spray it with vinegar and water and buff it with like a towel, and then scrub out the salt. The scrub with soap and water, you'll be good to go. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Laura. How do I care for a viscose blouse? Wondering about washing and wrinkle removal. Okay, so here's the story. The viscose, you can wash, right? It's like rayon. I will tell you, you really don't want to agitate it. Viscose has this weird thing. The first couple of times you wash it, it has a tendency to move. After you've washed it a couple of times, it kind of stays in place. It's a very strange fabric like that. I'd hand wash it, to be honest. As far as wrinkle removal, I'd hang it up to try to minimize the wrinkles, and then I'd steam it. That's how I'd care for it. And Kristen, I'm sorry that it's not warmer in I'm saying San Antonio. It's in Austin. Oh, Allison, I'm happy to answer those. I saw your question and I didn't see it. I guess I didn't see it last week. So I'm glad we got it for the Uggs. But it's really easy. So for the Uggs, just vinegar and water to take off the salt and soap and a brush. For the viscose, I'd hand wash it the first couple of times. After you've washed it a couple of times, by the way, the other thing I wanted to tell you is you could, at that point, put it in a mesh bag and push it in the washer. So there you go. So the next question is, how much washing soda do I use for a normal load? For a full load, it's about a half a cup. Of course, Laura, it's about a half a cup for a full load. Now, it's funny, I got a second part to this question. I have hard water. Should I use more? And you really don't need more. A half a cup is plenty. Truthfully, if you had a water softener, you could probably use a fourth of a cup. So a half a cup is plenty. And the thing about washing soda, remember, is you can also use baking soda, in a pinch. So, Laura, you can ask as many questions as you want. So a natural static remover. I'm assuming you don't mean I'm assuming you mean in addition to the ball of aluminum foil, like if you're wearing something, right? Strangely enough, you can run a wire hanger over it. I know that, Joan Crawford was famous for no wire hangers, But if you run a wire hanger across something, it actually pulls the static. The other thing you can do is mist it with a little water. You can just give it a light mist. There are several static sprays on the market that are plant-based, and truthfully, I've read the ingredients, and they're basically water, a drop of glycerin, and a little bit of fragrance. So, you know, you can just use the water because the water is the active thing there. The static is occurring because it's over dry, and adding a little water just gives it enough moisture to get that out. I'm not clear when it's appropriate to use oily soap versus still snap. Yeah. Okay. So a bar of soap is when there's dirt on the fabric. So think like you're going to scrub out salt. I don't know, you got salt on your winter coat. A bar soap would be for that. Oily soap is for when there's grease or oil. So oil cuts oil. So think like oily soap would be for makeup. You know, it's for when there's oil. A bar soap is like surface dirt. There are times where you may have to use both, like spaghetti sauce. You'd have to use the bar soap for the goop on the garment, and then you'd have to use the oily soap for the oil in it. So there we go. Okay, hang on one sec. Okay, I don't know why that's not working. Do you have an idea why the aluminum foil ball didn't work in the dryer? Honestly, you probably over dried. I've seen that happen. If you've over dried, anything will be staticky. Chances are it's drier in the winter because it is everywhere, and so you need to shorten your drying time a little, and which is something that we don't really know. I mean, nobody thinks of that unless you're me. So it's just over dried. So I would just shorten your drying time, and the aluminum foil ball will be amazing. Having trouble with white fade spots on my towels, soap flakes and washing soda, and then the towels on top is the washing soda bleaching out the towels. Oh my gosh, no. There's nothing there to bleach the towels. I mean, there's nothing in soap flakes that will bleach. There's no ingredient that will bleach. In washing soda, there's no ingredient that will bleach. My first guess is somebody's using like a cleanser or something that bleaches. My other guess would be that somebody used bleach in the washing machine with something else. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that. Email me. Can you snap a photo of one and email me at preach@thelaundryevangelist.com so I can look at it, and then I can kind of go from there? Because there's nothing in either of those things that would bleach. So dishwasher detergent, better option than pods. Working on it. It's funny. We know exactly how to make it. It's not that big of a deal. It's getting the ingredients and getting it packaged that is the challenge, if you really want to know the truth. We're working on it. It will happen. I don't use the pods in my washing machine. Or dishwasher, I'm sorry. I just use the powder and still working on it. I'm using a plant-based one. It's not bad, like truthfully, but I mean, it's funny because the ingredients that really make dishwasher soap work is soap, borax, and oxygen bleach. It's funny. I mean, it's kind of similar to laundry. So the difference is you put in a lot more borax because it's actually the water kind of circulating that grit of the borax that cleans. Yeah. So here's another question. Why are the flakes flakes, not powder? Oh, please send me pictures about this towel thing. I'm really confused. Why are the flakes, not powder? Can you make it into powder? You know what you could? You could grind it into powder. You really could do it. But the reason I like flakes is they don't compact. If you make a real soap powder and you don't put any fillers in it, it tends to clump like brown sugar. It tends to clump, and so the flakes don't clump. And if it clumps, then you end up using too much, and that's what I was trying to avoid. But yeah, but for sure, I want to see pictures of the towels. I want to figure out what's going on with that. Okay, so I've answered the questions we had from last week. Do we have other questions for today? There may not be a live next Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I should, if my flight gets fakakta, I won't make it. I won't make the live. So I'm going to try. But just to let you know. I'm flying the next 2 Thursdays, but the following one, it should work out okay. Any other questions? Completely unrelated, but public service announcement, if you are watching this and you're anywhere near California, just I'm devastated for you. So I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but I just want you to know I've been thinking about it. And I want to remind you that I'm in Novi next weekend. And when am I coming back to Texas? I don't know. I wish I was coming back to Texas. I don't think it won't be this spring for sure. But I'd love it because I love coming down there. I mean, I love it. So would it be okay to leave alcohol on your sweater? It's going to, because the alcohol is going to evaporate. The thing about alcohol is it won't stay. I mean, the only thing that might linger is the odor of the ingredient that denatures the alcohol. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, it would be totally okay. So I will be in Novi next weekend, and then Charlotte, and then Minneapolis, and then that gets me through February, and then in March I am in Eugene, Oregon, and in April I'm in Duluth. Is it possible to get the plastic smell out of plastic bins? It off gases. Yes, it is possible. It will happen naturally over time. It's easier in the summer because you can set them in the sun and they'll off gas quicker. It'll happen in the winter. It just takes time. There's no way to kind of speed that up, unfortunately. Oh, you meant vinegar and water. It's okay. It's not going to hurt it. The vinegar will become inactive after a few hours. The thing is, the vinegar scent will not go until it's washed, just so you know. So you will kind of have that, people will think you had an Italian salad. So, all right. I hope everybody has a great week, great weekend. We're kind of getting into the new year, and all the new year, the resolutions. My only resolution was to be happier and to do more things that make me happy, and and to be on social media more. I kind of realized in 2024 I sort of dropped the ball on Instagram and those sorts of things, and I miss it. So, I don't know, Dettol. There is not an index in the new paperback. It's funny. We are actually trying to get permission to make an index of our own, and I'm going to make it as a download, and you can just put it in the book. I don't know why that happened. I don't know that decision. It wasn't mine. We wanted an index. So anyway, everybody have a really great week. Do something fun, and I will see you on social more often because I'm going to try to do it, and I'll see you next week. Everybody have a great week. Bye.